You might think fame is all glitz and glamour, that the red carpets, flashing cameras, and endless applause make life perfect, but if you ask anyone who's ever been in Lila Monroe's world, they'll tell you a different story, one where obsession can turn deadly, where every smile hides a shadow, and where admiration can quickly become a dangerous fixation. And it all began in the summer of 2024 when Lila, 26 years old, was riding the wave of her breakout success, a rising Hollywood starlet adored by millions, her Instagram flooded with fan messages, her face on every magazine cover. But behind the sparkling images and the glamorous premieres, there was someone watching, someone who wasn't a fan in the ordinary sense, someone whose fixation had grown into something dark, something lethal, and the first warning came in the form of a small, seemingly innocent fan note slipped under her door, written in shaky handwriting that read, "You'll be mine forever," and Lila laughed, tucked it aside with a smile, thinking it was just another obsessive fan. But over the next few days, the signs escalated, shadows lurking outside her driveway at odd hours, unfamiliar cars parked too long across the street, footsteps on the gravel outside her apartment in the middle of the night, a sense of being followed that made her skin crawl even as she told herself it was paranoia. The city was loud, streets were busy, there were always people around, yet something in her gut told her this was different, and no one else seemed to notice, her friends and publicists dismissing it as normal for someone her famous, for someone who lived in the glare of the cameras. But Lila knew that instinct can be a powerful thing, and by July 18th, she was about to discover exactly how right she had been, for that evening her assistant arrived at the apartment to find the front door ajar, the living room in disarray, lamps broken, furniture overturned, and a note scrawled in red ink that said, "You can't hide from me," and Lila Monroe was nowhere to be found, no forced entry, no immediate clues, only subtle digital footprints left on her social media accounts, messages that hinted at someone who knew her routine intimately, someone meticulous. And that's when Detective Marcus Hale entered the story, 35, methodical, skeptical of the Hollywood glitter, someone who didn't buy into celebrity hype, someone who looked at patterns others overlooked, and the first thing he noticed was how organized these threats were. Fan notes, the escalation, the timing, everything pointing to someone obsessed, someone dangerous, and the investigation began in earnest. Security cameras scoured, online interactions traced, interviews with her assistant, friends, and colleagues, timelines built hour by hour, and yet the suspect remained just out of reach. Shadows flitting in and out of the background, until a critical mistake finally gave them a lead. The perpetrator, Ethan Klein, 32, an actor whose career had floundered while Lila's soared, had accidentally live-streamed his stalking attempts to a private fan group, and that single digital slip revealed the IP address, tracing it directly to Ethan's location, a rented cabin outside Los Angeles, meticulously prepared with surveillance equipment, detailed journals tracking Lila's daily life, and when Detective Hale and his team moved in, they found the chilling extent of his obsession, cameras positioned to monitor the apartment from miles away, maps detailing every route she took, photographs and notes of every interaction she had with friends and colleagues, all proof of a mind consumed by envy and fixation. And yet, despite the meticulous planning, the livestream hadn't done him, and the arrest was executed with precision. Ethan taken into custody, shocked and bewildered, the authorities finally holding the person who had cast a shadow over Lila's life, and the media erupted almost instantly. Headlines across television and newspapers screaming, "Hollywood star kidnapped by obsessed actor," social media erupting into debates, panic, admiration, and outrage, fans sharing theories, late-night talk shows dissecting the psychology of obsession, magazines printing interviews with psychologists discussing fame fixation, lawmakers even weighing new measures to curb online harassment and protect celebrities. The story dominating conversation, not just because of the crime, but because it revealed the dark underside of fame, how the public's adoration can fuel dangerous behaviors, and through it all, Lila, traumatized but alive, emerged from the nightmare, choosing to speak publicly about the danger she had faced, advocating for online safety, for awareness, for vigilance, and the story became a catalyst for a wider discussion, a societal awakening to the potential consequences of unchecked obsession. Her experience shared widely across media, used in studies of celebrity culture and digital harassment, and throughout the investigation, Detective Hale's meticulous approach had ensured that every step, from examining the clues, tracing digital breadcrumbs, interviewing witnesses, noticing the small inconsistencies, and identifying the critical mistake, had led to the capture of Ethan, a textbook case of obsession turned violent, yet salvaged by one tiny slit. The livestream, the very thing that could have been overlooked, saved her life, and as the months passed, the story of Lila Monroe's ordeal remained etched in the public imagination, a cautionary tale for Hollywood stars, influencers, and anyone living their lives online, a reminder that admiration can mask danger, that obsession can escalate when left unchecked, and that vigilance, awareness, and careful attention to warning signs can make the difference between life and death. And so, as she returned slowly to the world she had once known, red carpets, cameras, and adoring fans, she carried with her not just scars but a mission, sharing her story to protect others. And the moral is clear: fame, while alluring, comes with unseen risks. The shadows of obsession are real, and no amount of glamour or applause can shield someone from those who watch too closely. And while this story is fictional, it reflects the very real dangers that can lurk behind admiration, the dark corners of fame, and the consequences of human obsession, leaving us with the chilling lesson that even in the brightest spotlight, danger can be closer than we think.